as an example of Magnus Carlsen against Vachier Lagrave, and it was 3 versus 2 on the same side, and we were talking about, okay, which pieces do you want? Bishops? Do you want bishop versus knight? Do you want same-colored bishops? Do you want off in a favorable way as quickly as possible? Just kind of going towards a position you know is favorable, rather than just keeping the tension. That's where I'm from the old school. You know, you just keep the game going, keep waiting, probing, and you can trade rooks at a later point. But he was very much saying, okay, no, go for this now. Test the opponent here and now. And that's what he's doing with Fabiano. Big threat on the board already. Knight to d5, for example.
I mean, again, obviously a draw with correct play. But let's see. So here... Or wait, no, Fabi has 12 minutes. Never mind. If Fabi has 12 minutes here, I'd be very surprised if he loses this. I mean, I assume the idea here is to go knight g3 and knight f5 if you can. I actually think there's more chances of a win in this one than Magnus's game, actually. I mean, if Magnus had white here, I think he would win this. Let's put it that way. Candidates, that'd be Niels, of course. And I think that Ding wasn't aware of that game. Whereas I think, for example, today, if I had this against Fabiano or Magnus, they for sure saw that game. I think. So.
By the way, speaking of Fabiano's game, you called it. You said this was going to be harder to hold than it looked, and now it looks like he might be up against the wall. Why do you think the computer is saying that White is potentially winning now? What do you see?
He didn't play King f6, did he?
He did. He's allowing knight takes h6.
He has just played King f6.
Knight h6, game over. What?
And Pragg has just played knight takes h6.
So I mean, I get that he's going to get the knight active with knight e7, but I mean, this is just winning.
He just put his head in hand. I think he missed it.
No, you know, this is one thing actually that I don't. I mean, not to be critical of Fabiano, but it is the one thing I would say is that he is, out of all the top players, I feel like he makes more of these double question mark, like crazy blunders than anybody else when sometimes when he gets low on time, and I think that is one of his big weaknesses. Like, I feel like Magnus and I obviously blunder less, but I feel like even when I look at some of the other top players like Nepo, you see far less of these, like, just complete lapses in the same kind of way that you see from Fabi. So it is tough to see, obviously. I mean, especially, you know, in the candidates, I mean, Nepo, myself, Fabi were all so close, and we weren't able to get the job done, but it is what it is.
Coming back to that, because Gukesh ultimately did win the candidates and he's playing against Ding Liren, just to circle back to Ding Liren, what possible advice could you give or think to give someone in Ding Liren's spot? I mean, have we ever seen anything like this from someone who reached the pinnacle of their sport, right, achieved his goal, and has been here? So, I mean, I know that I'm not trying to draw an unnecessary parallel, but you have been playing the best chess of your career over the last few years from the perspective, as you've said, that you are more relaxed. As you said, you're here to have fun. You're enjoying the game. What could Ding do to get back to enjoying the game? Because when we watch him, it's not even just that he's playing bad. It's painful because he's not even enjoying it at all, and you can see it. So what would be your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so first things first, I think Pragg must have won with a huge change. I mean, I think right now Gukesh is a massive favorite to win that match, I would say. I mean, I said it before, even without the results of like the last round or this round, but I don't think that match is going to be close. And the more I think about it, I think it's very likely going to be in Gukesh's favor. So I don't know. I don't know what he can do. Not sure, really.
Yep.
Maybe he should become a streamer.
Maybe he should become.
I mean, it's fun to make jokes, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think, you know, I don't think it's as simple as saying like he's playing bad chess. Like I could lose the next 5 games and I could be in a very bad mood, but that just means I'm playing bad chess. It feels like there's something more going on. So it's easy to make the jokes, but
I agree, and I think jokes aside, I think it's partly what we're saying is that he's not enjoying it, and you are enjoying playing chess, and it's one of those things that
it's easy to play chess when the results don't matter. King f6, Pragg, finish the game. Finish the game off. King f6.
He's got only 20 seconds.
I mean, f5 also is good. F5 also probably just, yeah, I mean, f5 also works, yeah. King f6 and...
Time pressure.
Yeah, king f6 and then knight d6. King f6, king g4, knight d6, g6, g7. Push the p. Game over.
He did it. He's found.
I mean, you could also go for the beautiful knight h6, king h5, g6 takes g7, king h7, king f7, which also works. But he'll go to d6 just because it's a little bit too stressful.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, h6 wins, but you see d6 and you can't stop the pawn. It's all over. So, yeah. A good win for Pragg.
Wow, wow, wow. I think
I mean, this is also one of the things that I've said a lot is, I mean, ultimately, I do think the future of chess, when you look, 10 years down the road, the path is going to run through India. Because honestly, I don't think you can really say that any one of them are better than the others. I mean, on one hand, I feel like Arjun is the best. Sometimes Gukesh is the best. Sometimes Pragg plays these games, and you could argue he's the best. So